Hello, everyone from Akasa Living. I want to talk to you all today about the practical aspects of being a light being and coming out of third dimensional energy into fifth dimensional energy, 3D behavioral styles into 5D behavioral styles. What all of that means, why we would even do it. We could talk about it all day long from the theoretical, from the energetic standpoint, from the physics standpoint. We can talk about the fact that today's the spring equinox and the new moon and Pluto's in Aquarius, and so everything's going to be blown up so we can make change. And we can talk about all of those things. But if we don't bring them down to the practical, then most people, especially adult learners, are just going to be like, so. So that's what I want to do today. I want to take all the things that I've been talking about and all the things that you're going to be hearing most people talk about for the next few days now, and then I'm going to bring them to the practical. Yes, it's the spring equinox. Yes, it's also a new moon. Yes, it is March 21, so it's 3, 2, 1. So that is a countdown, literally. And so that makes it a portal thing even. So it's like counting down energetically for something big to happen. And yes, Aquarius, Pluto's in Aquarius. So in Aquarius. And so Pluto is about blowing things up or shaking things up so that we can make energetic space for the new. We can't, change comes from getting rid of the old, making space for the new. And sometimes that happens by literally just blowing things up. I read one metaphor about how whatever you blow up becomes the grease on the wheel for whatever is coming in behind it. So that's Pluto. I forget where I read that metaphor, but that's so you may be seeing that in the days ahead, or it may be all next month, but that's the energy that we're in. And so what does all that mean practically? And what does all that have to do with being 3D versus 5D? What do you do with all of this stuff that we're talking about? And the crystals we're always talking about, and the meditating we're talking about. How does all that really apply to your practical everyday life? It doesn't make a time's worth of difference. Folks, it makes all the difference. And it is a part of your everyday practical life, whether you're aware of it or not. Whether you knew all of this stuff that I just told you about, the spring equinox energy and the new moon energy and the 321 portal and Pluto being in Aquarius, and whether you knew those things or not, those energies are all at play. There are energies working on us all the time. And we respond to those energies all the time. Knowing what they are helps, but we don't necessarily have to know what they are. The main thing is to know our energy and be aware of what it feels like and when it's shifting. But even more importantly, to be in touch with source energy and have our light body intact and the aspects of ourselves out of the way so that we're in complete communication with source. And our as above, so below is what we are in full communication with. And so that's the energy that we're aware of and we're living out, because that's the goal. So knowing all of these things, they help. It's good to know, yes, the energies are working on us. This is the energy we're in. And there's a 321 portal. And if I do my manifesting today and I write it down today, I can use that energy as like a countdown for like, yes, I want this. Yes, I want this. Yes, I want this. 3, 2, 1, make it happen. And it's big energy. And so it does help. It helps set intentions. It helps make it so. Because we get energetically built up about it. We put that energy in motion or emotion out to the universe. It's the energy we get in. Therefore, it is what we put out. Therefore, it's what we get back. And so it's wonderful to know these things because we get in that energy, whether we know it or not. That energy is all around us. And so we are open to it. It gets in our energetic field and we get caught up in it, whether we know it or not. So that's why we always want to be in charge of our energy. We always want to be managing our energy. You may not know it's a 321 portal day. You may not know that it's the spring equinox. But if you do know that you're managing your energy and that you are in the energy that you want your life to be, then it doesn't matter what energies you get caught up in. the energy you're putting out, whether it's a big energy portal day or just a normal day, the energy you're always putting out is the energy that you want back. So it doesn't matter. So managing your energy every day and being sure that it's pure source energy so that the continuum of the light body that is sourced to you is as above, so below, so that that energy is what, that energy transference is what is happening. That the highest and best good timeline that you can have is what you're going for. So that's what the goal is here. But what does all that mean practically? How does that look? Well, it is our sovereignty of self that makes all that happen. We have been taught as a society that there is, and I'm not getting into belief systems here. However, and there go the lights. However, energy, which is our source, energy is not tactile. So the tactile physical being on the planet that has control over whether we do something or don't do it is not energy. Energy gives us signals all the time. Energy gives us clues. Energy does the number thing, 111, 222, and energy does all sorts of things that energy can do, the synchronicities that it can do. But energy cannot make us do anything. We are the physical expression of it. So we actually control the outcome on this end. That's why it wants us to hear it clearly and understand that it has our best and highest good at heart, because we are it and it is us. And the whole goal from beginning to end, from top to bottom of the continuum of the light body that is us, is to have all the understanding or expansion of consciousness above expressed as fully as possible in the physicality that each one of us represent below. But ultimately, up here, what it can get us to understand and express physically is what happens. We are it. We actually control more than this does when it comes to the physical outcome of things. We are sovereignty over self. That is why getting all the aspects, which we talked about in the last video, the defragmenting of humanity, getting all these aspects of self out of the way so that their agendas aren't getting in the mix is so important. Because you throw theirs in the mix and then all of that gets done. And this energy stream of information is not being applied to our lives. The best and highest good is not reaching us. It's being interfered with. Okay? So that is the metaphysical of it, if you will. The practicality of it is we have to understand as the human, physical, the tactile being, how to live as this energetic being and make it so. How do we do this? Well, we have to have our chakra system activated. And we have to be communicating with source energy. And that requires knowing our worth. We are the ultimate expression of energy. God, source. We are the ultimate expression. Know your worth. And everyone is worth the same. So it is never selfish to say, my heart's desire, my best and highest good. Everyone getting their best and highest good is what keeps us on the higher plane of existence. Oh, see the lights like that. For those who don't know, my lights, which are energy, give commentary. I have nothing on my lights to make them go up or down. They're energy though. And when they like what I say, they give commentary. So people love watching my lights. People I meditate with are like, like this all the time. And like, oh, there go the lights again, right? Yeah, they're like, you don't believe what your lights are doing. So, so yes. So exactly. No, when we all settle for less than what it is our hearts really desire, then we all end up spiraling downward because the aspects of us are ruling things, or societal programming, which came from the aspects of us. And we all end up in denser energy, less, usually, frequently, than in the frequency of unconditional love. And so we end up in denser energy. And we don't have the lives we came here to have. And we all spiral downward when we do that. And the goal is for everyone to spiral upward, for us all to get into high vibrational energies. So we all have to know our worth. So when you stand up for you and you say, hold on, no, this is my frequency. And that situation does not match my frequency. Therefore, I'm going to pull my energy from it. Love and light to you. We're not being bad people. No, this marriage no longer meets my frequency. You're no longer doing what you said that you said for me to expect from you. Not the list I handed you, because I didn't put conditions on you. It's up to you to set what your frequency would be. You're not in that frequency now. So this doesn't work for me. And it's not my best and highest good to stay. Nor is it yours, because we're not in frequency anymore. So we're spiraling downward into denser energy. And when we do that, then everything around us becomes chaotic, and we spiral all of it downward too. This is why our planet is in denser energy. And we have famine and war and hate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if we all, hold on, this is my frequency. We don't match anymore. Love and light to you. Okay, you're over there now with frequencies you do match. Oh, here comes a frequency that matches me. And we're like this. Then everybody stays high vibrational. And see, when we get into the other way of doing it, no, I've got to stay. Well, we end up doing this. We end up acting upon each other's energy to get our way. Well, it's going to be my way. No, it's going to be my way. To change one another. That's what happens when we act upon each other's energy. To manipulate the situation to one or the other's advantage. To play roles that neither one of us are in frequency for. When we're in frequency, it flows. That's high vibrational. That's 5D. 3D is roles that we're filling, that we're having to strive and cope and manage and be managed and handled to fill. We don't have to look for the win-win. We don't have to look for anything when we're in flow, because we're just being who we are. And yes, you can have you have lifelong relationships where you're in flow, because you communicate and you choose. Your sovereignty of self, you choose how you're going to be. You still can choose how you're going to be either way. I can choose that I'm going to stay in this, or I can choose that I'm going to be in this, and this is the person I'm in frequency with, and we're going to grow together. You can choose to do that. Or you can choose to leave it all very free form and, oh, yeah, we grew together, or we didn't. That's up to you. And there's no judgment, whichever way you do it. But there's no doing this. You know your worth. And when somebody is not in frequency with you, you detoxify yourself from that situation, because that is toxic to you. That is a toxic relationship to you. It is not resonant to you. It's not resonant. That job isn't resonant with you when it's out of frequency for you. That marriage, that friendship, can even be your relationship with a grown child. It doesn't make you a bad parent if you and your grown child are at odds with each other all the time, the more loving thing to do is to not do this to each other. Love and light. But I'm not going to exert force upon you to be someone you're not. But nor are you going to exert force upon me to be someone I'm not. I respect who you are. Love and light. You respect me as well. Love and light. And you may just well find that when you elevate yourselves to that frequency, you may end up with a whole lot more in common and a whole lot more flow than you ever were when you were at odds like this, trying to make each other get along and be whatever it was you thought the other should be. Only just respect who the other person is. Be amazed, because that's an automatic spiraling upward when you just accept that person has the right to be who they are. Okay? This means endings. Relationships end. It's not easy. We can love someone, but not be in frequency with them. We can have sacral chakra went off and be very sexually attracted to them and become very emotionally attached to them and be just sure that it's the love of our life, but none of the other chakras are really matching. Or maybe some of the chakras match, but not enough. Not enough for the energetic bandwidth to be prioritized for the relationship to get the attention it needs for you to stay in flow with each other. So if there's not enough chakra connection, if there's not enough chakra compatibility to keep you all in flow together, then it doesn't matter how much emotionally attached you are to each other. Doing this to stay together, holding on to each other, only hurting each other. You're going to become frustrated with each other. You're going to disappoint each other. You're going to hurt each other. They end up not liking each other. The high vibrational thing to do is to have an honest conversation and say, I'm in this frequency and you're in something else. And although we've got some things that go off very well, not enough. And we're butting heads too much. This isn't working. Is there something we can do about it? Can we get into enough frequency enough together? And if not, then the relationship has to change. Maybe it just becomes a friendship. Relationships have to end. You leave the job that you've been at for 20 years. The best friend from college, you don't see eye to eye at all anymore. Kids you grew up with, you have nothing in common with them anymore. Whatever. Relationships change. But we're held. We are held when that happens. And do you know what holds us? When you're in frequency, we're energy. What holds us in place are the energies we're resonant with. You see, in 3D thinking, the energies that are holding you are the energies you're not resonant with. And they're holding you for dear life, asking you to bend like a pretzel to fit roles that you're not happy with, but you're doing it because you're supposed to, or you're expected to, or you're afraid to speak up and say, I don't want to do this anymore, or whatever. But whenever you get in frequency, you're held by resonant energies that are in flow with you. You're held effortlessly. You're not held like this. It's freedom. And yet you're held. You're safe. I've got you, and I've got you. But we're free. It's not because we're like this. I'm not manipulating you. You're not manipulating me. I'm not acting on your energy. You're not acting on mine. We're who we are. And we're in flow. That's why we want to say yes to change. Yes to change. We're a society that we're not big on change. And we always assume that change means, oh my God, something bad's going to happen. Tarot, you see the tower card and you're like, oh my God, there's going to be a tower moment. Death card, oh my God, something's going to change. How about, wow, things getting shook up. That means something new is going to happen. How about get excited about it? How about, oh, Pluto's in Aquarius, hot down, change is coming. How about that? How about that? How about, there were some vampire energies going on. Doesn't mean that those people meant to be draining me, but we weren't resonant anymore. So the way things were going was making me aware that my life force, my energy was being drained from me because we weren't like this anymore, but we were like this. So now that's down and I've got resonant energy coming in. And look at me. Look at them. And all because we just changed. We just went with the flow of change. It didn't mean anybody was bad. Didn't mean I could never see that person again. Love and light to them didn't mean that I wrote them off and love and light to you. It just means the nature of the relationship had to change. Now, sometimes it means that extreme, but it doesn't have to. It's because you leave a job doesn't mean that you never see those people again. Or that you never deal with that company again. You may become a consultant for that company. You may, who knows? Just because you and your grown child can't get along enough to see each other every day doesn't mean that you never see each other. Just because you and the person that you're seeing are at a crossroads right now and it's like this and you're butting heads doesn't mean that after some time apart, and whatever has been going on with the person that caused them to change frequency is dealt with, they may come back into frequency. And you may be the best friends ever. Or you may actually end up back in the best relationship ever, better relationship than ever. It may just be, we're talking about being held, maybe held better than ever. Change can be wonderful. It doesn't have to be bad. If we're in the energy of, oh my God, things are about to get shook up. Change is coming. Guess what we're attracting in? We're attracting in, oh my God, things are about to get shook up. Change is coming. So why don't instead we attract in, oh my God, here we go. So we can attract in, change. And let's make it good. The energy we put out is what we get back. The energy we are in is the energy we attract to us. I don't want to attract a bunch of people around who are like, oh my God, did you hear the news? Pluto, change. I don't want to see. Nobody wants it. I don't want that. Did you hear the good news? Some great things are about to happen. Some good things are going to come of all this. We're going to have some positive changes. This is how we have to look at the world. This is how we have to see everything. Black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is a transmuter. It transmutates energy. It changes it. I love this as above, so below thing here. Now, the thing is, you can't see it happening. but it doesn't. It takes excess energy, actually, and it transmutes it. What's it transmuted into? What we choose. As a matter of fact, all transmutation is what we choose. Remember what I said earlier? On this continuum of energy that we are, we're the physical. So, Source created us, yes. Source slowed its molecules down to become us. But in the end, we are the physical expression that has sovereignty over self. So the transmission comes down, and we got this excess energy around. What do we do with it? That's us. That's what we decide. What do you want to do with it? Well, we want as above, so below. We want our best and highest good. So we want to be open to what Source is telling us. So we want to know our worth. And we want to say yes to change, to stay in our worth, stay detoxified. No, the endings are okay. Change is not necessarily a bad thing. As a matter of fact, it may be the best thing. And you're held this way, not this way, but this way. And whatever was draining your energy, it's not draining it anymore. And you're choosing. So all this notion that this whole thing means I don't have free will. Sure you do. Because you're communicating from one end of yourself to the other end of yourself. And you're the physical expression. So you're the being that is doing. Because energy couldn't do. It was just energy, neither bad nor good. But it was molecules vibrating so quickly that it had no tactility or physicality until there was you and me and everyone around us. We are so valuable. The Source. Each one of us. Invaluable. We are the expansion of consciousness, the ultimate expression of conscious energy. Know your worth. You are this being expressed here. Jump in and say yes. Beautiful change. So today's March 21st, 2/1. 3, 2, 1. It's a new moon, so we plant with the new moon. So set your intention. A great way to do it is scripting. So you sit down and you feel into the energies, because folks, this is spring equinox too. So this spring we plant in the spring too. There go the lights up. So there's tons of energy coming in, and Pluto's shaking things up. So there we go. All kinds of energy. Feel into it. Get those aspects out of the way. Shoot. That Source energy, let the white light come all the way down. Feel it in your heart space. Open up that high heart chakra. Get that bridge going. So we're getting that communication fully expressed, so we know for sure. And then get your notebook out and just free write. What do I want to be? What do I want to feel? What do I want to experience? What is a life? My best and highest good. What does that look like? And say it like it's happening. I am. I'm being, I'm feeling, I'm experiencing. Claim it. Name it and claim it. And then, once you've done that, use the 3-screen method. I love this method of manifesting. I love it. Just look straight ahead and then look up, like you're like this way, okay? And then just tell source, God, energy, universe, this. Why you need this to be the way it is. Hold it up. It needs to be this way because. And remember, it's not just because of you. Because nothing is ever just about us. Because everything is relative. We are always in relationship. Anything about us is about someone else. It's actually about everyone else. So, yeah. I want it this way, the way I'm holding up for you, because, well, without it being that way, it's hard on everyone. You know, people are having a harder time getting da-da-da-da or doing da-da-da-da-da. There's really good reasons for it to be this way, and it's going to help a lot of people, not just me. There's always good energy to put out there that what you're doing is not all about you, that you're showing that you understand that you're in a relationship to others. Put out the energy of what you feel so strongly about why this needs to be how your life is. Let that energy in motion go out. And when you've done that, then pivot a bit, 45 degrees, and just state that one thing that you are going to do to facilitate that. Because we are sovereign over self. We are this end of it. That one thing, if you're clueless as to what to do, could be that you're doing this. But maybe it's that you're going to continue to detox your life of things you know that don't serve you anymore. The things that you know are doing this. Yeah, I know what some of those are. I'm going to get those out of the way. I'm going to work on those. I'm going to work on knowing my worth. I'm going to do some affirmations every day and pump up my worth. I'm going to start saying yes to change. I'm just going to start every day just, yes, I'm open to change. Or since we're in this Pluto's in Aquarius thing, I'm just going to get up every day and say, hot damn, what's Pluto got for me today? I'm going to do something, whatever it is. Okay? And then you want to change, move yourself to where you're 90 degrees. You're looking this way now, still up at the screen. And then you're going to let yourself feel when it happens. Everything that you wrote down happens. You're going to let yourself feel all of it. And how it's going to be for everyone else that you know it's going to affect. Because it's going to affect your family, your friends, your loved one, the world perhaps. You're going to feel all that. And you're going to tell Source, God, the universe, it's going to be great. This change is going to be fantastic because, and you're going to talk through it. This is going to happen, and I see this, and I can feel that, and you're just going to, just light up with it. Just live it. Express it. Be that energy. Be that energy. Be, feel, and experience it. Put it out there. Be that energy. And then turn back around to the big screen in front of you. Hold it up. Say this or better. Just in case you sold yourself a little short. Leave them some wiggle room there. So we can always have better than we even imagined. And then some people have ritual to this where you like put it under your pillow or you burn it at the full moon or whatever ritual you want to attach it. I like just putting it in an envelope and just keeping it. Whatever ritual you want to attach to the end of it. And just keep it. And be open to change. Believe. And since it's a 3-2-1 portal, I think at the end I would put 3, 2, 1. Change. I think that's what I would do. I might even say, thank you, Pluto, and put a smiley face. Whatever matches your personality. who you are. But be in the energy that is you. Express you authentically. Be the frequency that is you. You all got a taste for what the frequency is that is me. This is me pretty much all the time. And I can have a little different flavors to me. We all do, but yeah, I'm pretty much, yeah, shooting stars and rainbows, that's me, folks. I believe. I believe. I know that we are energy. And that when we can get the aspects of this out of the way, when we can let source energy come down and guide us to our best and highest good, that when everyone comes up in frequency, I know I don't make those lights do that, when everyone comes up in frequency, the world is going to be so different. Change that we can all say yes to. And we're all worth it. So that's the practical reason for everyone's everyday life. But all of this stuff matters. Because 3D behavioral styles are confining and restricting and manipulative. And they're going to keep us locked into an energy that is spiraling downward. And haven't we been there long enough? 3, 2, 1. Let's spiral upward. Let's change.